Hey, what's up? This is Antonio. Welcome back to my channel, and who's ready for some fighting words. In this video, I want to talk about my love for Saudi Arabia and how they're making things happen and shaking things up in the sport of boxing. Really quick, if you like the channel, please take the time to subscribe to the channel. Also, please hit that thumbs up because it does help. It does show love and support this channel. The reason why I'm saying I have a whole lot of love for the royal family over there is because they're really shaking things up. And because of them, fights that we want to see as the fans, the consumers, they're going to make those fights happen for us. They're for their entertainment, but we benefit from what they want to see as their entertainment. And I'll tell you how. So basically, there is a push and a call for Dmitry Bivol versus Artur Beterbiev. And the winner of that fight will go on to face Jai Opetaia. Now, I don't know who wouldn't love any part of this, like at any point of this. And you can mix it up however you want. You could do Beterbiev, Opetaia, and then the winner gets Bivol. It doesn't matter. You can mix this thing up however you want. It doesn't matter. Every word of this sounds amazing. Everything. I love everything about this fight. Well, these potential fights. I think these fights are actually mega fights, if you ask me. You're getting guys in the ring that, not to say that they would never enter the ring, but it's been proven to be harder than maybe what it should be. You look at Dmitry Bivol and you look at Artur Beterbiev, and Beterbiev has wanted this fight for so long, and he couldn't get it. Then you look at Bivol, and if you listen to the claims of Beterbiev, he's always wanted the fight, but it was clear where the fight was not wanted, and it was not wanted by Dmitry Bivol. So by having, the Saudis throw the money up, because they got that money to throw the money up for this fight, I don't see any reason why anybody would say no. And another reason why I like what's going on over there in the sport of boxing is because it kind of evens the playing fields. Because outside of what they're doing over there in the sands, well, you either have to be Canelo or you have to be Abdul Wahid Tank. You would have to be you'd have to be a Tim Tszyu. You'd have to be or a Terrence Bud Crawford, an Earl Spence. You'd have to have a big name, in other words, to generate a lot of money, a lot of revenue. But now, because of what they're doing over there, they're saying, listen, we want to see the best fighting the best. And it's clear the only way we're going to get this is if we dish out a ton of money where they can't refuse. They can't say no. They can't walk away or back away. They have to address this because they know they're not going to get this amount of money anywhere else. They know they're not going to have this size of a stage anywhere else. Now, again, you have your Tyson Furies, your Anthony Joshua's, your Deontay Wilders. They can sell out. They can sell out. It's not a problem. You have your Katie Taylor. She can sell out. That's not a problem. Canelo can sell out. Tank can literally fight this picture behind me. It will sell out. But the average fighter, who's a good fighter, is not going to sell out like that. And that's why I like it, because it evens the playing field. And now it means that the guys who, number 2 and 3, who should be fighting number 1, but aren't due to politics, it evens the playing field because they're saying, no, we got the money for number 3 to face number 2. We got the money for number 2 to face number 1. There should be no issues. 4 should be able to get his hands on 3. 2 should be able to get his hands on 1. And by all means, I'm all for it. I'm all with it. And I'm on board 100%. I agree with that wholeheartedly. And that's one of the things that has plagued boxing since forever. Where you can't get your hands on the person that you technically should be fighting, but due to, the people upstairs, you can't get your hands on them. Or, the promoters, you can't get your hands on them. The fact that this guy here is big business, so I don't want you touching him. You stay back. You're a little too dangerous for this guy. All right, I'm gonna have this guy fight that guy. And unfortunately, that's what happens. And that's what's been happening for years. It's nothing new. It's nothing new. Either you're on the right side, the cool side of the lunchroom, or you're not. And it's as simple as that. And that, unfortunately, has always been the sport of boxing. Either you're on the cool side or you're not. And unfortunately, a lot of people have not been on the cool side. A lot of people don't play ball. A lot of people tend to go on rants when they have a microphone in front of them. And the way you check people is fine. Well, you're never going to get your hands on this guy. You're never going to crack into the elite because you might be a little too loose with your words or just flat out dangerous. Let's be honest. Some guys are just dangerous. And as a promoter, I don't want that guy coming around my guy. I'll tell my guy to move up in weight or go down in weight. That way we don't have to deal with this guy. It happens all the time. So that's why I love the Saudis getting into this, because they're going to even the playing field. And they're going to make it so that if you say that you're the best, you're going to have to prove it. That's what I love. If you're going to be the best or you're going to claim to be the best, you're going to have to prove it. And all this running and hiding and all, it's taking 3 years to get this contract signed, that stuff's about to go out the window real quick. That's going to go out the window. And there's going to be no more excuses, because if you're used to getting $800,000 for a fight and now you're about to make $5 million, you'd be a fool to pass that up. Win, lose, or draw, you'd be a fool to pass that up. If you have 3 belts and if you have belts, but you're still, not even cracking $1 million, and this guy says, I'll give you $10 million if you fight that guy, you would be a fool. You'd be a fool. That's Gervonta Tank Davis money for not to say the average guy. The average guy is still going to be an average guy in boxing. Unfortunately, some things are just not there. But for guys who should be on the level, in terms of popularity, should be on the level, they're going to be on the level. Or they're going to at least have an opportunity to fight to be on the level. And I'm all for it. Absolutely, I'm all for it. I am definitely all for Jai Opetaia possibly fighting Artur Beterbiev. I'm all for that. I mean, you have one guy who, all right, so when I look at Artur Beterbiev, he's just a relentless force of nature. And then you look at Jai Opetaia, he reminds me of a larger version of Dmitry Bivol. Imagine Dmitry Bivol with thunder in both of his hands. That's a scary dude, and they're both scary dudes. You get Opetaia versus Beterbiev, I'm paying for that. I am paying for that. I might pay twice for that. All right, I'm paying for that. That's a worth it fight. That's a fantasy fight. All right, let's just say that fight were to happen. That's potentially fight of the year, and it hasn't even been signed. There's no contracts to my knowledge that exists for that fight, and yet it's already fight of the year, potentially. Potentially, that's fight of the year. Amazing fight. Then we finally get Dmitry Bivol in the ring with Beterbiev. Beterbiev, I don't care where you throw Beterbiev. You can drop him anywhere, and I'm going to watch that fight. I'm going to pay for that fight. Jai Opetaia, I'm going to pay for that fight. I'm going to watch that fight. Hands down, doesn't matter when, where. I want to see that fight. I want to see him fight. And I want to see him fight tougher opposition. Somebody that, it's dangerous. Boxing has veered away from where you get 2 guys who are equally dangerous. And you honestly don't know. That's what I liked about, the fights back in the day. You honestly didn't know. You just know that this guy was tough and that guy was tough. But deep down, you can make an argument for each guy. Today, there's not much of an argument for each guy. Let's just be honest. And I don't care what weight class they're fighting in. For the most part, you see 2 guys today and you're like, that guy's probably going to win. Probably. This guy has skills, but he's probably going to win. Back in the day, it was like, no, they're both solid fighters. You look at Shane Mosley when he was fighting Oscar De La Hoya. You honestly don't know. You look at Roy Jones when he fought Bernard Hopkins for the first time. You honestly don't know. At that time, you understood who the rising star was, but you look at this other guy from Philly and it was like, I don't know about this one. You didn't know. You honestly didn't know. You look at James Toney and you look at Roy Jones and it was like, I really don't know. I really don't know. So that's what it's great when you have this type of money backing you. You have this type of money backing the sport. You have this type of money backing the number 3s and 4s and 5s, because that top 5 is important. You know, number 5 is a gatekeeper, but he's still important. He still has a role, and he still plays a vital part to the division. So with these guys throwing this much money into the pot, a lot of things are going to be shaken up, and I look forward to every step of it. But those are my thoughts. You tell me what you think about, you know, these potential mega fights coming, and about the Saudis just kind of evening the playing fields. Drop your thoughts down below. I would love to hear what you have to say. And as always, please like, please share, please subscribe to this channel.